Stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. N-I-C-K, mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air, cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6, jonesing for your fix of that dabbling politics mix. So where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna touch now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get saved up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabble is blasting out the political shit. The back and forth shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what you're gonna touch now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 Hey ladies, where you at? Hey fellas, where you at? And the dabblers that don't give a fuck, where you at?
Oh, welcome to Dabbling in Politics. I am OG Mumbling Nick. Sorry for the delay. Yet again, it's always half my fault, half my partner's fault. I'm usually responsible for the initial delay, and then we usually have tech issues. I'll bring on my co-host there, Mr. Liquid Cryptid. How we doing, sir?
Howdy ho. New mask, everybody.
There we go. He made it himself. Fantastic. So we might get some unique masks on the show. And so I won't have to steal from Guy Fawkes, Anonymous, all that shit anymore. Hey, Defty, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, I let Nick know that I gave him a website he can go to where I can print up any masks. Now I can print them up and send them to you. It's going to be your responsibility to complete them.
Sounds good, my brother.
And I can give you some tips that I learned. And I will probably have a bunch of masks now that I got the. This is the first mask I've ever made, so this is all temporary. This is, as I was telling Nick behind the scenes, this is like a material that I use. It's just a regular gray material that I use for prototyping stuff. And I got some really cool colors and stuff that I could do with it. And I've got airbrushes and things I can paint up all kinds of masks.
Nice. Hey, what's up, Chris Mack? Sorry, I forgot Oscar. And of course, Rochi asking, can someone time me out so I can cry about tomorrow? Did you see Stuttering? I know you saw Stuttering John's. I know you clipped it or recorded and everything. Stuttering John's live where he got shut down. But did you see him on Ashley Cummings after that for like 2 fucking hours?
I did. The Potato had it on this morning.
Did he?
And then I went and downloaded it and grabbed it so that I have it
It's,
with
it,
John
it,
on Ashley Cummings. It was wild. And then I saw, you and Ashley and Shmuel today. Was it
yeah, yeah.
today or was it
Well, yeah,
today?
it was last night. So
Yesterday,
you
last
may
night.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. What was funny is I heard from Shmuel early in the evening, or asking if I was going to be around. I was like, yeah, I should be around like after 10:30 or something. And he said he was probably going to go live at like 11. Wasn't sure what he was going to do. If he wasn't live at 11, he probably wouldn't do it. And then we didn't go live because Ashley had John on, and Shmuel sent in a chat. Uh,
I am familiar with the drama with Rochi.
yeah. Okay.
I'm just upset that I'm not I'm not a mod, and or so I would have timed him out immediately just for the lulz.
I am a mod, and I didn't. I did nothing. I was sitting there like I was actually messaging Echo, who was like at the fucking airport, getting ready to go to. When I saw what Schmiel did, I was like, oh my god, this might be my one and only chance to actually finally get on with John and confront this fucking ass or whatever. And I was waiting to see if Schmiel was actually going to get on, but he didn't. So
Yeah, as I was watching it, I was like, I don't remember this part of when they're going into it at 1.5 speed on Cardiff Electric, so I wanted to watch it in real speed. And I was like, I don't remember the part where Shmuel asked for the
yeah,
link, and they're going to get the link. I'm like, oh, this should be good, and then that never happened. Very upsetting.
it was funny because at one point, like I'm like, oh my god, is Ashley? I thought Ashley was going to hold him until John left, which I knew probably would have pissed Schmiel off because I'm guessing the whole point was to be on with John. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's been on with Ashley a million times, but I don't know. Apparently, it was the wrong link, and then Rochi did what he did, which you know, I get Schmiel's anger, but it was funny. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't funny. Um, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. I kept trying to figure out like what I would do there because like I would actually love just to be on with John just once, but I also don't want to ruin Ashley's show. So I know I wouldn't go crazy on him. So I know it would be like nothing. So it'd probably be like disappointing for me. I'd probably sell out a little bit. I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, because as soon as you say anything, John will probably just leave.
Yeah, yeah. So I wouldn't want to do that to her. And as I brought up a few times, I try to remember that, while I'm not happy with John, he's not the one that did the worst shit to me. He did his little lolcow shit, but put my picture up and all that, but he didn't do the harassment shit. So I gotta try and remember that. I almost subconsciously pin it on him when it's not him. Anyway, enough of that drama. So tonight's episode, I'm guessing we have a few different things with comedians, but I'm guessing we're mostly going to focus on the Riyadh Comedy Festival happening right now in Saudi Arabia there. For those of you who don't know, I actually found out about this probably like a month ago or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It came up on my radar on some of the uh, independent progressive media shows I watch. And so I actually brought it up during one of our live streams. I brought it up briefly at the end. And it wasn't much interest. I said I might cover it or whatever. And now that it's finally here and happening, I see it everywhere. So it's like,
Yeah,
all right, I guess we will talk about it.
and I was
Um,
interested in looking into it at the time, but then I just forgot, and then
yeah.
I was looking at it today when we were talking about stuff, and I realized, oh, I don't care. I
Well,
mean, I understand the issues and the arguments and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of people who are, some of the top, comedians who are out there saying, we can't say anything, without getting in trouble. And then they go to a place where you can literally go to jail and be killed for for
yeah,
saying the wrong thing. It's like they just lose their job here. There, you can end up in jail and dead.
right. So like I picked out, I mean, there's tons of videos on it right now. I picked
Yeah.
out two from YouTubers I actually don't know, but they have decent followings. One of them, it sounds like it might be one of those. I can't tell if it's a guy narrating or if it's like one of those AI voices or whatever, but the content's pretty good.
I think I saw that one too.
Yeah. And the other one is clearly some guy, a YouTuber talking, and it's pretty good. What's up, Metal? So the issues will be like it'll be interesting to see the left and the right wing point of view on this. Like I remember Tim Dillon was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take the money, fuck off," and then Bill Burr obviously looks like one of the worst ones because he was the one kind of being vocal about billionaires and free Luigi and all that. Granted, this is a different country, but still, it's not a good look.
What I see was in that song, or I think I saw it somewhere where, yeah, Bill Burr isn't about taking money from billionaires, but he will take it from trillionaires.
Trillionaires, yeah.
Trillionaires,
Then
big,
there's
whole different deal. Yeah.
the Pete Davidson angle because his father died on 9/11, and I forget, like 11 of the 13 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. I'm trying to remember the exact number. Yes, Chris, we actually have that. We will be playing it.
It is really good.
We will be playing it. Yes, I did hear it yesterday. So we do. Right before we get to that segment, we'll probably play it right to start off that segment. And we'll just do that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Like we got the Jimmy Kimmel shit. If we still have time at the end, where I was just gonna go over his monologue on his first night back and see if we thought he sold out in there anywhere or anything. But it kind of all links together, like with the government censorship. Comedians, are they caving? Are they not caving? We got the Saudi government, we got the U.S. government, stuff like that. So there was the Joe Rogan aspect, but we're not even gonna really cover that at the moment. I think we can all agree Joe Rogan loves Trump, loves the current government. So we have a group of comedians that love the government. And that's what it is. I think it sucks. I was actually talking with Ashley Cummings, and I think it was Ashley and Schmiel. Might have been even last night. When we were talking about George Carlin and how he used to, try and hold people to power, and there's still a few comedians that try and do that. But even when you think you have one of those comedians like Bill Burr, they disappoint you. Mark Maron's kind of doing it, but he also wasn't invited to the festival. So is that the reason? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I grabbed the Mark Maron thing when he's talking about the Riyadh Comedy Festival, brought to you by those who gave you 9/11.
11, yeah. I got those clips in some of the videos. So yeah, we'll go over that. You know what? We'll start off with the song. Might as well.
Yeah.
We'll start off with the diss track. My boy Billy Burr let me down.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I gotta be real. He just, what's weird? I haven't been able to find him really even commenting on this shit yet. So
yeah, same. That's like specifically the person I was looking up, knowing that you'd probably want to talk about him the most.
Yeah.
And I was looking for the set, anything he said about it. Like, there's nothing. He's been radio silent.
Yeah, it's like Tim Dillon's really the one who like said a bunch of shit, and then he got axed.
Yeah.
And
there's that one Asian lady, I forgot her.
Yes.
I forgot her name. Yeah, where she's talking about. Yeah, she turned it down because so much that she'd have to censor.
Yeah, like it's interesting to me. Like, look, comedians do censor sometimes, and I guess it's kind of a debate whether, like, if you go on TV, a late night show, you probably can't say some of your material. You can't swear. I know
you gotta have like a clean act and a dirty act.
Yes. So they all got the clean act there. Like, I think there's a famous one with what's his Norm Macdonald, where he's like the headliner. It was like a 3-man thing. It was there's kids in the crowd. It's like one of these corporate. It's got to be clean, and so the first 2 acts go up and they clean it up or whatever, and then Norm goes up. And he's like, I can't remember what he said, but it was the first joke he said was something about, it was a gay joke, you know what I mean? And it was like about fucking, you think it would be worse to be the giver or the receiver? And he's like, I think, is it worse to stick your dick in someone's ass or get, like something like that? And they're all like, so Norm just threw it out there. But, so the debate is, is since they censor, is it okay to censor that? But it's like, I think it's different having a clean act for young ears, you know what I mean, than it is like, hey, you can't even criticize the government or, over here and shit like that. So it is crazy that some of the people that complain about censorship all the time went to like king censorship where you can get fucking killed
Exactly.
you,
There's like a lot of these people here where I would be like, yeah, I can see it. Like Aziz Ansari.
yeah,
Sure. He'd actually, he'd absolutely take that bag.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but we'll talk about it after the song. Let's
Yeah,
hit
yeah.
the song and then
Cool.
we can continue.
Here we go. For anyone that hasn't heard, I think it's pronounced Crackamico?
Yeah, Crackamico.
Miko.
Yo, it's Billy Burka. Yo, we get rehab money, baby. It's brutal.
Alla shiki Luigi Mando. Hey, anybody feel Luigi Mando?
Yo,
We getting rehab money.
yeah.
We getting rehab money. I am a cook, I got a shitty black and white.
Yeah.
I am a cook, I got a shitty black and white.
It's brutal.
We getting rehab money.
Yo,
We getting rehab money.
Now that re-ad money got them selling they souls. If they wasn't telling jokes, they be selling they hoes. They do anything for dollars, even say a prayer to Allah. Balaclavas on their faces just to pack out a show. Whoa, Chris Stefano, I had to let you know this festival might rest your soul. They colder than the Eskimos. The episodes you drop must not be making no sense. Mr. Ross only going cause there's no age of consent. Guess the roast master general demoted to lieutenant. I'm the lord of this land, I'm evicting these lieutenants. Who didn't expect Tommy Buns to take the Saudi funds? Probably for a Rolex, he don't give the kids a mommy none.
No.
Aziz needs this, I'm rooting for him in the end. Cause how could you get canceled for being a horny Indian? I can't believe what I'm seeing is Pete Davidson. Made a lot of money, but I guess he ain't been saving none.
Hey.
Never forget, well I guess he forgot. Now he performing for the animals that took out his pops.
Yo.
Does he even know?
Does he
And
know?
shit, probably got bad friends like Sadi Santino and Hammurabi Lee. Pulled that little penis out on stage where he gonna be a goner first time out the country.
What?
Unless we count in Tijuana.
Bro,
I wonder why they canceled on Tim Dillon.
Wow.
Probably cause they heard about the men that he been drilling. Not ratting, I'm chin chilling. But what about Miss Whitney?
Whack.
Voice for strong women? Bitch, you gotta be shitting me. I remember you vividly, Simon D'Elia wickedly. You headed to a place where they treating women maliciously, beating the bitches viciously, physically dominating hoes. Silver lining, we can't see her body when it's draped in robes.
True.
She gon' fit right in with the ancient ruins.
Old lady.
Hey Sebastian, what are you
What are you
doing? They go for
doing?
payroll, do whatever
Whitney.
you say so. Kirsten, haven't you seen what they do to gay hoes? Squeeze you like your Play-Doh, on God, they'll murk you. Or maybe they invited you to make you wear a burqa.
Ew.
Mark and Sam, they might be drunk. And if they say the wrong thing, they might be sliced and chunked inside the trunk of a fucking cyber truck. Now this just don't seem worth a little subscriber bump. Chappelle turned down millions and went to Africa. Now we headed back just to hack for some human traffickers.
Yay.
Louis, please, you're selling your soul, brother. Used to think you was the goat, now you hanging with goat fuckers. How the fuck could Kev possibly need any more cheese? Another divorce? Geez, stop fucking these whores, please. Saudi see this little midget, they'll chase him like Voorhees. When machetes hope you ready to drop to your knees.
Your knees.
Oh, Billy Bird, a Beantown hypocrite. I'll admit when you was dissing mustard, I ain't give a shit. But now you headed to a place they pay your wife to feel her hair. Hates white billionaires, loves brown trillionaires. You cringe ginger screaming out free Luigi. Sucking so much Saudi dick that you gon' need a squeegee for the cleaning of the semen and demons from rubbing genies. Your opinion means nothing, shut your mouth fucking weenie.
Jeez.
I know it's people that sharing the same feelings. What a shame, all these lames with these hijacking plain villains. Shout out to Shane Gillis, a true American patriot. Declined the Saudi offer cause he knew that shit would make him sick. For the rest of y'all, enjoy your little festival. I really hope that they don't chop off all your breast and balls. Sorry guys, just being a broke hater. I'll just say congratulations and welcome to Al Qaeda.
Yo.
Good stuff. Even though I can tell, obviously, this person is not a fan of Bill Burr to begin with, but Bill,
Apparently.
yeah, he threw in some extra stuff like with his wife that had nothing to do with what was going on. But yeah, Bill sold out. There's no two ways about it. You know, there's no two ways.
So I just want to know for how much money. I mean,
What's up,
because there's,
Brittany?
because
Yeah.
there is a like a limit, right?
Yes,
See,
I'm trying to.
For like Tim Dillon, if I'm a Tim Dillon, right in my current situation, and they're going to pay me $350,000 to go out there for a couple of days and tell a couple of jokes. For me personally, I'm going. That's like 3 years worth of pay.
I was just trying to remember while the song was going. Like one of the shows I watched, you didn't know who made what, but you knew the low and the high, I think. So you figure like Chappelle and Burr probably got the high. You know what I mean?
But they don't even if it was like a couple million. Neither of them need that.
No, and I
believe
believe it was like, I want to say like 1.6 million was the high. It's something in that range, if I'm
See,
not
that
wrong.
seems low for like a Chappelle.
That's
or
what I
Burr.
was saying. Yeah. Fuck. I'm trying to remember where the fuck I just went to breaking points and I don't see it there. So I'm trying to remember where the fuck I heard it. We can start off while I look for it. There is a if you want to start off with Tim Dillon, like what
you
he
got
said
that?
to kind of
Yeah.
get the axe. Yeah, I have breaking points covering it, so we can watch some of that so people can see what Tim Dillon said like literally a few weeks ago to get him canned on this shit. So yeah, I'll bring that one up
I
first.
remember that everybody was like, "Hey, good for Tim." It was
Yeah.
like, when he come out, he says, "I'm doing it for the money."
Right.
And
Yeah.
everybody's
I
like,
mean,
"Hey, go get that bag, man." but but I
I'm
said
against it, but at least he was honest. You know what I mean?
and I'm saying 350 for him is probably still a good chunk.
Yeah.
Whereas I said, yeah, if Bill, that's what I'm saying. If Bill got less than $1 million, yeah, even over $1 million, it's like that's still not a huge chunk for him. I mean,
Right.
it's a good pay. I mean, $1 million bucks, $1 million bucks, sure. But it's not like I'm pretty sure he doesn't need it. It's not
No.
going to be like life changing. It's not going to make a bunch of things easier for him.
Yeah. Besides the stand up, I mean, Bill's got Disney money, man. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? He's all set. That's why I'm very, there was a couple of people I was disappointed in. There's one I'm trying to figure out. There's one, and I can't think of the comic's name, but he's on the Young Turks a lot. He's a political guy, but I don't think he's that famous, so I don't think he makes a lot of money. So he probably needed the money. You know what I mean? He's not like these big name comics, so I'm torn on him. Like, I know what his political values supposedly are, but he's also probably not raking it in like some of these other fucking
yeah. I said
people.
if you need the money, you need the money.
Yeah.
If it can help, it can help. But as I said, like it's not even selling out for the top guys.
Right. Yeah.
It's just another payday.
All right. So this was from a few weeks ago. This is when it was already out, and Tim Dillon he addressed it on his own podcast, like why he was doing it. So we'll watch this one first.
Crystal, what are you taking a look at?
Well, in just a few short weeks, a who's who of comedy will board international flights bound for Riyadh for Saudi Arabia's massive comedy festival. Billed as the largest comedy festival in the world, the star-studded lineup includes the likes of Dave Chappelle, Tim Dillon, Bill Burr, Aziz Ansari, Whitney Cummings, Pete Davidson, Kevin Hart, and a whole lot more. Where those came from. You got your right-wingers, you got your left-wingers, you got your relatively apolitical, all coming together in a shared appreciation for the shower of Saudi cash that lured them to this event in the first place. What about Saudi's imposed starvation of Yemen? What about their authoritarian speech suppression, vicious approach to dissent? What about the brutal murder and dismembering of Jamal Khashoggi, their rampant abuse of migrant workers, including allegations of human trafficking? Well, as Tim Dillon makes plain, the payouts were enough to get everyone to look the other way.
They're paying me $375,000 for one show. Now, a lot of other people are getting $1.6 million. That's not me. I'm not in that bracket.
Okay.
But they're giving me $375,000. Others are getting $150,000. Why are they doing it? Here's the point. Okay? I am doing this because they're paying me a large sum of money. They're paying me enough money to look the other way. Do you understand? Look the other way. That's a 4-word sentence that people don't do anymore. Look the other way. If something bad is happening to your left, look to your right. If, for example, I'm at a breakfast and I see someone get grabbed and they start hitting them with that big stick. I don't know if it's bamboo or whatever it is. It's kind of a wood, but it kind of snaps back. It's perfect for a cane. If I see someone getting it, I will look the other way. Okay? If I look the other way and I see someone being behanded, meaning they're chopping a hand off, that might be interesting to just kind of see actually how they do it, because I think they do it kind of a sanitary way. But from what I've heard, if they're chopping a hand, I might look down. And if I'm looking at the floor and I see some eyeless beggar grabbing at me, trying to get my money, I will look up to the heavens. And if in the heavens I see a drone flying over, I will look the other way because I'm being paid enough money to look the other way. What don't you understand? What is so complicated? I'm the only honest person just going to do it. Everyone else is going to have a million. They're going to go, well, actually, the Middle East is more progressive now, and he's trying to make some change. No. I'm being paid a lot of money to not care about what they do in their country.
There you go. The Saudi Comedy Festival, of course, just the kingdom's latest effort in a long list of sports and cultural events where they have doled out tens or hundreds of millions of dollars so that people will do exactly what Tim suggests and look the other way. Probably their most discussed gambit from a U.S. perspective is the Live Golf Tour, which came in as a direct competitor to the PGA Tour, bought off a bunch of the world's top players, partnered with Donald Trump to host events at his properties. We still don't know how much exactly the president is netting from his Live Golf deal, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, the president, too, is being paid to look the other way on any Saudi doings that may conflict with American values or American interests. But there is, of course, so much more. The Saudis have made massive investments in soccer. They purchased an 80% stake in Premier League's Newcastle United. They spent lavishly to lure global soccer superstars like Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar to Saudi clubs. They've hosted heavyweight boxing matches, regular WWE events. They back Formula One and Formula E, which is apparently electric car racing, esports, women's tennis, music festivals, including stars like Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber. And they've also lured artists for massive biennial art exhibitions. Now, some of these efforts by the Saudis to buy affection, they have been met with some protest, but none particularly significant or sustained enough to stop the stars involved from making the exact same calculus that Tim Dillon explained. Take the money, look the other way, assume the blowback will be minimal, and keep it moving. That bet has paid off for them every time, as best as I can tell. So this is where we are now, in whatever end state of capitalism we're in. Money's our god, the only end goal apparently that really matters, the only judge of merit or character, and with this false idol, we are witnessing a total and complete moral collapse. The comedians lining up to line their pockets are really just one very small example of it. I mean, it's barely worth mentioning in comparison to the decision to commit a full-on genocide and ethnic cleansing in order to secure beachfront property development rights. Increasingly, we're falling into.
All right, I'll probably stop it there because I think.
Yeah, it's kind of going off track a little
Yeah,
bit.
it interests me, but it's not with the. I think she's done with the comedy festival part of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, just getting into how shitty Saudi Arabia is.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say we could probably
all their
shut
other
that down, but-
ventures. So, yeah. So Tim Dillon was getting $375,000, and obviously, I'm guessing the Bill Burrs and the Dave Chappelle's must be getting the 1.6.
Yeah.
You know, and the Kevin Hart's, must be getting.
But still, 1.6 doesn't seem to be enough for a Chappelle or a Bill Burr or Kevin Hart to look the other way.
That's what I'm saying. Like I forget where it was, but one of the, I'm not going to look for it now because we got other
375,000. I'm looking the other way all day long. Me personally.
Well, this is where I'm
and
stuck.
I'm sure
man.
you would. I'm sure you would too.
I'd probably have to. Yeah, like that. That's where I think this is interesting. It's like I think it's each individual, like where your financial bracket is. Like I actually think the most famous, most successful comedians look the worst in this. Because they don't. It's like the payoff isn't what I thought it was. I literally thought that like when this first was announced that Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, I was literally guessing they were getting at least like $5 million each. I know it's a lot of money, but I mean the Saudis, come on, man, they're so fucking rich. That's nothing to them. And I thought it was gonna take something at least at the 5 million mark to get someone like them, and apparently not.
See, if it was like 5 million, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
I can
That's
see
me and
that.
you, right?
For like a Dave, as I said, for like Chappelle or Bill Burr, I could see, 5 million for a couple of days and a few jokes.
Yeah.
Look the other way, man. I mean, but she was also talking about how are any of them actually like praising the Saudis for being a little more progressive?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, neither have I.
I haven't heard much from any of these comedians, to be honest with you. I was looking today. It was tough to find them saying much. In one of the clips I got, one of the videos I got, there's Bobby Lee talking about how he got a free trip to actually I won't ruin it, to a different country. And he
Bobby
thought it
Lee
was
was at this, right?
yeah, he's at this too,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So he's probably the one that got the 150,000.
He's probably the sucker. Yeah, I think him and Santino might have even did their podcast. Like, I don't even know if they did stand up. That's almost what it sounded like to me. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was trying to figure out which, at least two more. Which one? What order to watch them in? This one might be. I want to save the better one for after. So not that this one's bad, but the other one goes into like a little more detail, I think. So but yeah, you're gonna hear one of these videos. You're gonna hear Bobby Lee talking about taking a trip to another country in that region that we all know that doesn't really get along with the Islamic countries. And it was a similar thing where it was supposed to be free, and they're paying for like free celebrities to go and this and that, but really when you got there, every day they wanted these celebrities to tweet positively about the country. So it's just marketing. It's all that shit just to make themselves look good. And I cut Crystal off, but she's not wrong. Saudi Arabia has been doing a ton of this shit fucking lately. And
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think it was like last year was the golf thing, and
yes.
Where Trump was getting involved with the Saudi Arabia. Now, keep in mind, Trump is like really good friends with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. So
yeah, that's why I think he knew about Khashoggi. I will say that to the end. I think I remember at the time the details. I think it was his son-in-law was somehow involved and may have known or gave the okay or whatever. So yeah, it's shit sketchy as fuck, man. All right. So this is the one that I think it might be narrated by AI. I can't tell, but it's a pretty decent video. But then we'll play the other one after this.
They landed like a late night sketch. Dave Chappelle on the marquee, the Bad Friends duo, Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, listed for a live show, and a city trying to prove it can host a world-class laugh festival while also wearing a PR gloss that some observers call painfully shiny. The Riyadh Comedy Festival opened with A-list names on the bill and a predictable public relations backlash that reads like a travel brochure written by an apologetics committee. The event is real, the lineup is real, and the conversation around it has been loud. On one hand, there's the simple human fact that comedians perform and fans crave live laughs. For many,
so that's where I had a moment of debate with myself, because I remember when I was younger, there was something, I think it was called it was something in the Moscow Rock Festival or something, like Moscow or Russia had never had like a rock concert, and like Ozzy went, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi. It was like, I think it was like 1990 or something like that, right before the grunge took over. And they actually got praised and they loved it, because these poor, these suppressed kids and teenagers and young adults in Russia had never got to see this sort of thing. So part of me was like, okay, I'm guessing these Saudi people don't get to see comedy.
no middle-class Saudis are in the audience.
Then where I said, I went with like, you know what? We know who's actually paying for all this. We know who's actually watching all this, and it's not the same thing. So
It's not the regular citizens. It's all the
yeah,
wealthy people who are
right.
there. There's no regular Joe, middle class, working, stiff Saudi in that audience.
No, and I remember they do certain things like this in North Korea as well. Like, I've seen a documentary on I think WCW had to do some 2-night wrestling thing in North Korea at one point, and there were regular people there, but they were forced to go. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was like mandated to go, and so who knows how many of them even gave a shit or knew what the fuck was going on to begin with. So apparently the Moscow Music Festival is still the one pure one of these things I've been able to find. So here we go. This might be the well, I'll let it play out, but this might be the woman who turned it down.
Saudis and international visitors.
No, that's not
Seeing
her.
big
Oh, it's
name
not
acts
her.
in
Oh.
Riyadh felt like
It was an
cultural
Asian, that's right.
currency,
Yeah.
a sign the city is opening, if only in headline form. Some attendees and ticket holders were genuinely excited. Comedy, after all, is one of the few art forms that still trades in the immediate high of an audience sharing a split second of surprise and recognition.
If you don't understand the rules of power, you will certainly lose to someone who does.
Do
It's
you need some money for some for YouTube Premium?
organized.
You know what's funny? I had it for months and I just stopped paying for it like this month. Of course, this.
See, I use the download feature on my phone, so I'm not using so much data.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And the play and the the reduced play. Like I actually use much of the features of it, but
yeah, I forget what it was. I got one of those like deals where I got it cheap for a few months, or cheaper, not cheap, but cheaper for a few months.
like $10 a month.
Yeah, I forget what it was. I wasn't even the one that ordered it at first. It was my wife or one of my kids. I can't even remember. But but we got the share plan. It's a little more because you can share it for like all of you or whatever. But
okay.
yeah, I don't know. I'll probably go back to it. I'll be like Jake. If anyone wants to contribute,
I'm really surprised. I'm
I
not
was
surprised
just not having the ads alone is worth it.
yeah, like literally this. I forgot because I had it for so long that I forgot that they actually play ads. And then I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
Or
Well
get the Brave browser, and you won't have ads anyway.
There we go.
The Brave browser, I get that. It blocks YouTube ads.
What's it called?
Brave, BRAVE.
Okay.
Like
Brave.
like
Yeah, like
brave and heroic.
Braveheart. Yeah.
Yeah, Brave browser.
Okay.
It's got built-in a bunch of built-in security stuff in it. And in fact, I suggest everybody get the Brave browser. It's, as I said, it's very secure. It's got anonymous searches and all sorts of stuff. It's all built into it. I've been using it for years and years and years.
Interesting.
And it's got an ad blocker that does block the. Sorry,
No, it's okay, man.
it has an ad blocker that does block YouTube ads without YouTube trying to screw you over for it. Unlike a lot of ad blockers, where YouTube will be like, undo your ad blocker so that you can watch this ad. Where Brave it just blocks it. I think from the source, maybe. I don't know how it blocks it, but YouTube doesn't trigger YouTube.
Man, there's so much shit that I don't know. I never even heard of it. But yeah, I'll check it out.
You guys do amazing stuff, but it's new, it's exciting, and it's something completely out of what normal we found here in Saudi Arabia. I love it.
Honestly, like I'm very surprised with like how nice.
I mean, where did they find these people? Carla and Lucas in Saudi Arabia? Like, these aren't the names I'm expecting.
Yeah.
It was, and how we really wanted to come to see what it was going to be. Like, nobody knew too much what to expect, and we had a blast. Like, we had tickets for 2 days, and now I'm regretting that I don't have tickets for all the days, because like it's been an amazing experience, honestly.
I saw Whitney last night, and she was great. But I'm also looking forward to Kevin Hart and Jack Wilshere.
Oh, I really like it. Yesterday I went to Bill Burr. Today it's Chris.
That's definitely an Evan, and that was definitely a Tim. You can tell by the accents. The German and the Norwegian, definitely Tim and Evan.
Yeah. It's kind of like when I got a one of those fake phone calls once from the State House telling me I was being sued, because that's how that works. And the guy had the most Middle Eastern accent you ever heard, and I forget the name he gave me, but it was literally the equivalent of like Joe Smith or Mike Johnson. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's your fucking name? No fucking way.
On the other hand, a chorus of critics, fellow comedians, human rights organizations, and social media users framed the festival as an attempt at image laundering. Concerns center on Saudi Arabia's documented human rights abuses and broader unease about performing for a government with a long and controversial record. Critics pointed to the timing, the optics, and the fact that money talks very loudly in these negotiations. Some raised the even more explosive charge that the kingdom's role in regional geopolitics intersects with unresolved questions and resentments that predate this festival. In short, the stage was always going to be a political one.
All right, behind me right there is Phil Mickelson, the face of this new golf league being bankrolled by the Saudi government. $100 million. That's all it took for him to come here. And I guess forget about that journalist that was chopped up by the Saudi government. Hey, Phil, give us a wave. Let's go. Yeah.
100 million, you see? That's what I'm talking about, Bill. You fucked up.
Yeah, that's why
6 million. This guy got 100 million.
I thought this comedy thing was low. Now, granted, okay, Phil, I don't know if it's 100 million over whatever years, how many tournaments, whatever, but 1.6 million for fucking trillionaires. It seems very I mean, to have trillions of dollars seems very low, you know. I in one of the videos, what's his face said he turned it down and they offered him double whatever they originally offered him. So I'm sure these guys could have gotten even more if they really pressed.
And let's be honest here. The Saudi government and these people, they have unlimited money. There's no, they're not trillionaires. They're infinite.
It's
money.
whatever.
They have infinite
right.
money.
Yeah, it's insane. I actually would love to hear how this all started. Like, did these comedians talk to each other? Like some of them, like, hey, are you gonna do it? If you do it, I'll do it, sort of thing. Or just the money was so good, some were like, yep, I'm in, sure. Fuck it. I don't know.
I imagine it was just, $1.6 million to go hang out in this nice place for a couple of days and get on stage for for an hour or so and tell some jokes. I'm like, okay, that's better than I made down at whatever comedy club, the Mothership or Stand or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure the agents were all pushing it for their cut, so they're probably like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, Riyadh, and half of them don't even know what the fuck that is. Like, oh, Rio?
Yeah, give me a look. Yes, thumbs up. Thank you. All right.
Last hour, Phil Mickelson teed off here at the 16th hole just behind me. Here's what happened.
Do it for the Saudi royal family.
Come on, man. One more time and we'll escort you out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I am sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
I'm going to give you this designer bag if you can prove to me that you know your finances. Well, let's do it. How many subscriptions do you have?
Not every comedian.
Okay, so I've actually seen that guy before. I can't remember the name of his channel. He has a partner, and they actually do a lot of the Alex Stein type shit where they show up at like town halls. I've seen them show up at like NRA type things.
Yeah.
And usually they do like they act like they're on the side of whatever, they'll act like they're on the NRA side, then they'll say shit like, I remember one of the NRA ones, the guy was like, they always blame, the guns and the NRA. It's like it's bullshit, They blamed the NRA for Sandy Hook for the, and then he just goes on and names like 30 mass shootings. You know what I mean? To bring home the point, there's all these mass shootings. So yeah, he's kind of a smart ass. Like, I like him because he's usually on my side, but I don't think he was sorry. I'm not buying that.
It didn't sound sorry.
No.
I wouldn't be sorry. I would be that guy sitting next to him, smiling and laughing.
Yeah. I was gonna say there was one guy that like was just laughing. It's like, fuck it, he got the money, he can take it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yep.
To hop on that plane. Atsuko Okatsuka publicly
That's
said
the-
no,
Yes,
that's
this
the
is-
lady.
posting what she described as the offer letter and the festival's content restrictions, explaining that she turned the gig down and exposing the kind of editorial strings attached to performing there.
All right. So just can't believe I paused it on perfectly in the first time. I fucked it up when I was watching this on my phone because I wanted to read this. So here are some of the restrictions. It says content restrictions. Artists shall not prepare or perform any material that may be considered to degrade, defame, or bring into public dispute, contempt, scandal, embarrassment, or ridicule of A, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, including its leadership, public figures, culture, or people. B, the Saudi royal family, legal system or government. And C, any religion, religious tradition, religious figure, or religious practice. So pretty much you can't shit on
Everything.
Saudi Arabia, their religion, or their royal family, or their government. Or, yeah.
So nothing. You
No,
can
yeah.
you can make fun of nothing.
Yeah, no anti-Saudi jokes, pretty much.
Her choice added texture to the debate. This isn't just a moral yes or no. It's also a contract negotiation about what counts as allowable comedy. Her screenshots and posts quickly became part of the newsroom feed that asked whether accepting would mean self-censorship or worse, complicity.
Steve Byrne calls me, and Steve Byrne goes, "You want to go to Israel?" I go, "Why?" That's my response, right? He goes, "It's free. They'll fly you out."
You come on, you didn't do Birthright and pretended you were Jewish.
No.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I didn't do that. No, but he said, no, the Israeli government is flying out like celebrities for free out there to do a tour for free, and it's on the house. They fly you first class, the whole thing.
Wow.
And I go, "Oh, who's going?" He goes, "It's going to be me, you, George Lopez, Jamie Chung, Brian Greenberg, her husband."
I love him.
I love Brian, right? And I go, "It's free?" And they go, "Yeah, it's not free." Because when you land there, they go, "You have to every day tweet positive things about Israel."
The controversy hasn't landed evenly on every.
So as someone that watches Bobby Lee, like I almost give, like, it's funny, I like Bill Burr more, but I almost give Bobby Lee the bigger pass because Bobby's an idiot when it comes to this shit. Like he doesn't really know, you know.
I don't
He's
think Bobby Lee's very like political or anything.
No,
like
he's
that.
not at all.
So he's just in it for the comedy. That's why I said, like, is he Ansari? Sure. I don't think he's like into politics or he doesn't really give a shit like about things. But yeah, well, I was gonna say, at least with this Riyadh thing, all the people there have been pretty much radio silent. Like they haven't said anything. I've seen a lot of positive stuff from Saudi government and stuff like that, and people there giving a lot of positive comments on X about it, but I haven't seen anything from the actual talent.
No, I don't know if they just weren't expecting the backlash they're getting, and so they're just going to be quiet. Because I mean, let's be honest, it is just going to roll over. You know, it's going to go away. Like the golf thing was big for a little bit, and you don't even really hear about it. You know, I just see it like in my political shows every once in a while. It's not even a big deal there anymore. So, yeah, they know it's just going to blow over. So they'll just be quiet for a little bit.
Oh yeah, next week nobody's gonna care. They'll be like, "What? Riyadh Comedy Festival? Never heard of that."
Yeah, right. Like I said, when I first heard about it, like I said, nobody cared, and they're only talking about it now because it's happening. And then by mid-October, you won't hear shit. So,
and I'm sure there's a lot of people like me who are just like, "Whatever."
Yeah, and then there are people that are like, "Hey, man, it's not my country. Fucking, if you want to,
like, if you want to go do it, go do it."
Yeah. So, like I said, there's a lot of that too. This more burns people like me, I think. And I think the people that don't like Bill Burr are obviously going to relish in this as well, because he does come off as a hypocrite here. So,
performer Dave Chappelle, who has been no stranger to controversy in recent years, was, somewhat surprisingly to some observers, relatively spared the same level of sustained online scolding aimed at other acts. Meanwhile, Bill Burr has repeatedly become a punching bag in this particular debate, perhaps because his public persona and comedic premise make his decision feel like a sharper sort of betrayal to some fans.
Anybody else been added to the list?
I think Tim Dillon was.
Well, I said that's
That
because,
doesn't blow my mind.
No, Tim is the fucking.
Tim's the
Tim
exact
is
person
soulless.
that would do it.
Yeah.
especially,
and like Merrill.
Bill Burr's kind of a vocal, anti-establishment, anti-government kind of guy, whereas Chappelle is just, man, I'm just going to do my act, and if you don't like it, then don't like it, and I'm just going to keep pushing ahead.
Yeah, I'm guessing in Bill's head, like the one defense I'll give Bill is most of the shit he gets political about is domestic shit, so maybe he thought because this is in a foreign country, like, yeah, it's not really under my umbrella. And I get it to a certain extent because, as I've said multiple times on this show, I am way more into domestic issues. But there are certain countries, and Saudi Arabia is one of them, where I'm just like, fuck these people. So, yeah, I'm still disappointed because as someone that's not really into international issues as much as someone may think, the Saudi royal family, they're awful. So it's just, I hate that we're allies. It's insane that this is an ally for us, this country.
Well, they have
money. They have money. That's why
they have money and oil. So
yeah.
Early and be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I get that. Whitney.
They're paying me seven
Whitney surprises
figures.
me. Burr surprises me. Louis surprises me.
Burr's coming to Skankfest?
No, this is for
some of the Saudi Arabian
Comedy Festival.
Why the asymmetry? Partly it's about audience expectations and partly about timing. Some comics have reputations that insulate them. Others depend on different kinds of fan trust that can evaporate quickly when optics turn sour. Social platforms amplified everything. Threads, Reddit posts, X/Twitter threads, and TikToks became the digital amphitheaters where jokes, hot takes, and moral calculus were performed for free. Some threads were defensive, arguing comedians shouldn't be expected to serve as foreign policy moral arbiters, while others were merciless, framing performances as performative cash-ins. The weekend became a reminder that in the internet age, a comedy tour is never just a comedy tour. It's a cultural event with an immediate and permanent audit trail. If there's a bottom line, it is this. Comedians who accept invitations to places with fraught political reputations will always be doing two things at once, telling jokes and sending a signal. Audiences will decide whether they're there for the set or for the signal, and critics will decide whether this counts as art, complicity, or both. For performers like Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, the immediate response from fans in Riyadh was mostly warm. For critics far away, the show became a front in an ongoing debate about money, morality, and the limits of stand-up's freedom of speech. The festival did what festivals do. It gave people something to talk about, and not everyone walked away laughing.
Honestly, it's just all I care about is like the comics that constantly busting on, oh, we can't say anything or we're gonna get canceled, or anytime it's the comics that really get into that, the ones that went that are really over here, they're all about I have to have my free speech, and then go over and do that, and just be able to say basically, yeah, okay, we all know that you're just saying this thing to drum up fans, eyeballs, or whatever, obviously.
Yeah, totally agree. It's like, as much as I bitch about this country, it's like we are still free to bitch about whoever. You can bitch about Trump, you can bitch about Biden, you can bitch about, all these comics got to do that, whatever side they were on. But now you literally went to a place where you can't say shit about where you are. You can't say anything critical about the country you're in, the government, the royal family, even the citizens. You know what I mean?
Imagine a touring comic not being able to say bad things about the place they're currently playing at.
Right. It's yeah, this last one we're gonna watch, I think this is the one, because I watched a few. If it's not in this one, then it's in one of the other ones that we're not gonna watch. But the YouTuber is pretty much saying that the comics that they're not the Saudi family isn't gonna like arrest or kill these comics, so they should do it. They should speak. It's like I wouldn't fucking risk it. I'm not no fucking way.
Yeah, it's like death is kind of permanent.
Yeah, like look, I'm more critical of these comics than the average person, but I don't expect them to go there and shit all shit all over the fucking the royal family and all this shit. Like man, you never know. You know what I mean? Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like
Yeah,
even
I
if
mean,
even if
people get in car accidents all the time.
right. I'm not saying they'll find other ways. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, it won't be out in the open, but you might not come back.
yeah, they're not going to do it, but some mysterious person, you know what I mean, is going to do it. Like, yeah, I would not risk that fucking bullshit. Like, I don't expect them to be that fucking brave. I expect them to have some fucking morals. I'm not expecting them to put their lives on the line just to prove a point. Yeah,
just to try to make a point at a foreign country that could possibly get you jailed or killed, and will have absolutely no impact whatsoever.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Yeah, so we didn't have much this week, so we'll just end it with this. We'll have we're still gonna go over the hour mark, but this will be one of our shorter ones, like the early days, and just say
Yeah.
I not that I'm hoping, but I don't know, maybe as these details come out on the fucking 3 shootings we've had in the last few days, maybe we can have something with that next week. Just I don't know, or whatever else happens, we'll see. But I got to start putting more. The last few weeks before this one, it's sick, but with the Charlie Kirk shit and the Jimmy Kimmel, like the topics were just falling into our laps, so it was nice and easy. But this week was kind of a struggle. So
yeah, the shootings, I was looking at those too, and I'm just looking, through what we have, what's being said, what information has come out, and it's just like, man, everybody's muddying up the waters on all this shit too much anymore. You can't trust anybody with anything, whatever they're saying. It's stupid. Like I just want to get some details, and you can't get any details because I don't trust any of the details that anybody's putting out.
100%. Like I thought I had good enough details for last night's shooting in North Carolina, but I'm still not sure. So I figure we'll wait, just see what comes of it all. It's still too early for both of them, and then there's the ice one, and I gotta be honest, like I was all over that the day it happened, and then I started paying attention to other shit, so I'm not even like
the
sure.
guy that shot up that ice van and ended up killing the 2 detainees.
Yeah, so nice shot, dude.
Yeah, it's like it's just like, dude, okay. It's just like, man, how about you just not shoot people? Can you do that, please, people? Can we not?
Yeah.
Can we not decide that shooting ICE agents is a good idea?
I got all hung up on the cartridges with one of them, like, because I still don't believe that picture. I'm not saying that the person
neither do I. I saw that too, where it says anti-ice on the bullet, and all I'm thinking is, all those pictures where you see the people like saying like the KKK came or the Nazis, neo-Nazis came and spray painted their place up, and it just says like hate and like go home and like a poorly drawn swastika, and you just look at it and go, that motherfucker did that.
Right.
A couple days later, it's like, oh yeah, he did that. It's
like, look, man, the guy, if what happened, he probably is anti-ice, but I don't believe for 1 second that's
You're
it.
not gonna put anti-ice on a fucking bullet. That's
It's
fucking dumb. It's gonna be some meme or something.
Yeah. And even like the picture, like I said, if you look, it looks like it's on like a stone ground or stone wall, like not a roof. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah, as I said, I totally forgot about that. Thanks for bringing it up. That's something I wanted to bring up, but I didn't write it down because I was like, and so when I first looked at it, I was like, no, that's not. It's not from that.
That's what got all my attention, and I argued with people on X that wasn't real, and then I literally didn't get much of the details after that because that was my whole focus. I'm like, that shit's bullshit, man. Like I'm guessing the dude's anti-ice, but I ain't buying that fucking picture.
Well, I mean, obviously it's anti-ice. I mean,
well,
the bullets that he sent into the vehicle kind of made that statement. They don't really need to write anything on a shell casing.
Whatever he is, he's an idiot because he shot into a group where he wanted half of them to live and half of them to die, and he's a shitty shot apparently.
Well, from what I understand is that he shot into a ice van. probably expecting it to be full of agents inside.
Yeah.
But it was actually detainees.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, natural selection with him, I guess. Anyway.
Well, he took himself out. So
Yeah, right. All right, we'll watch this final one. And this one, like I said, I think this is the one where the guy has a radical thing these guys should do. But other than that, it's pretty good. There's a little more detail. There's the Mark Maron shit in this one. I think a little of the Tim Dillon stuff. So here we go.
Who gon' take it there? 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 Electricity, 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 electricity. You know what's in the air. 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 It's possibility. It's possibility. It's possibility. It's possibility.
All right, so this Riyadh Comedy Festival, a comedy festival that they're throwing in Saudi Arabia with a bunch of American comics, has genuinely become a big deal in the comedy world. Lots of conversations happening about it, different comedians dissenting from their peers about whether it's like appropriate to perform at this. And the comedians who have been lumped in with the lineup for this show are taking a lot of shots from comedians who either weren't invited or were invited and turned it down. And this all kind of started with like a little bit of a whisper because people like Tim Dillon, Bill Burr.
Oh, fuck off. I'm paying for next week. Fuck this.
Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K.
Look, here they
all
go.
popped
We're
up
almost done
on
for
this
3 minutes.
poster for this Riyadh Comedy Festival. And it was just kind of a reminder that like, oh, comedians in general are kind of sellouts, and even ones like Bill Burr, who have been taking some pretty meaningful, principled stances as of late, are still susceptible to just taking the bag and not really thinking that much about where it's coming from. This is interesting to me because it's funny what the more right-wing side of the comedy audience, it's interesting to me what they find to be a genuine cross of the line and not. And that's why it's interesting that there's been more commentary popping up, criticizing comedians for things they say, but also just their general behavior, because comedians have gotten a pretty free ride over the last, 5 years, where pretty much anything terrible about them, whether it appears to spill into real life or not, can kind of just be written off about the fact that, hey, they're comedians and that's part of what they do. And even though this premise has been laid out there that the audience is just right wing now and wants to hear offensive jokes and that sort of thing, I think that we're starting to see that that's only half true, or that there's at least a little bit of pushback from people who genuinely are in these audiences and follow these characters, but are not liking this just like complete shamelessness that's coming from them, especially because comedy's doing well right now for the most part. It's not doing as well as it was maybe a couple years ago, but these comedians on this list shouldn't necessarily need to take this money.
So not that it's the point, but when he's talking about this shamelessness, like actually, Abba and I got like in a discussion with Shmuel and what the fuck's his name, Panhandler, about this. I think last week or the week before, where I actually think these comedians are just getting fucking lazy. Where it's not like shame, like it's just there's no craft to some of these jokes. Like, hey, that person's black, haha, they robbed. Like I don't know. Like there's just there's laziness to it. Like I think most people that go, like people that are usually offended, most of them don't go to comedy shows, thankfully, except for the drunk idiots that heckle. But so I think it's okay to try and offend or whatever. It's just I don't know. It's lazy. They don't really like craft these jokes anymore. And I've never found Joe Rogan or any of his fucking sidekicks that fucking funny to begin with. They're decent podcasters. But
Joe Rogan's a really good podcaster, but he's not a great stand-up.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't listened to a lot of comedy lately, but I don't know about lazy.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. I haven't really been listening to a lot of stand-up lately.
It's weird. Like everyone loves, shit. What's his name? The one that turned it down.
Tim Dillon?
No, he not the one that got fired.
Mark Maron. No, he didn't turn it down.
No, this is the guy that got like fired from SNL before he even started.
Oh, Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis. He seems like a decent dude. I just don't find, and I don't think he's awful, But I don't find him as funny as other people. I think it's his delivery. Something with his like almost lackadaisical delivery just doesn't do it for me. I can't figure it out. Because people seem to really love that guy, and I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's anything great. I don't know.
You know, I've never actually heard his stand-up or
Stand-up.
seen any of his SNL stuff.
Yeah, I think
I can't even say that I saw the SNL clip that got him booted.
I don't even think it ended up being anything of anything. Like what's funny is he's not even like right wing. He's like such a centrist. It seems like, you know,
He just
like
makes fun of whoever.
right. Yeah, he
Whoever's
doesn't. He's
goofable,
not
yeah.
political. Yeah, so that's the weird part. Yeah.
And at least a couple of them have said that they won't. And in the case of Tim Dillon, he kind of made a few jokes about Saudi Arabia in general, just in response to the controversy of this whole thing, and got fired. He got himself fired by yapping on podcasts about Saudi Arabia. So that's kind of the most interesting turning point in this whole thing so far, is Tim Dillon was brushing it off and being like, hey, what the fuck? I'm not going to take money from Saudi Arabia. What am I, some saint? You know, that's what he was rationalizing in the podcast that I saw. And it turns out even that they weren't okay with. And the little jokes that he made about, you know, the things about Saudi Arabian culture that these comedians are kind of implicitly condoning by doing this festival. And there's reasons for that, and I'll get into that later. He was kind of defending that, and even that, exercising some, you know, critical speech in that way is still too much. So it's just an interesting reminder for these guys of not only why with audiences is this viewed as an inappropriate thing for you to do, but even for you guys, based on your own principles and what you want to be able to say on stage and off stage. You know, this is a compromise for that. So here's a couple different comedians from Mark Maron, Shane Gillis, and Tim Dillon talking about this Riyadh Comedy Festival thing. And we'll see. This is probably going to blow over for the most part, but I think the guys, you know, like Bill Burr and some of the other people involved in this probably didn't think that this was going to leave as much of a scar as it might.
You're asking me to go to the Middle East soon.
What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE or Dubai.
Dubai?
I think I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. For the troops? Is it for the troops?
Not for the troops. It's for the Saudis.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Weren't those the 9/11 guys?
So I thought.
Aren't they exactly the 9/11 guys? I should have taken I got to take the Saudi Arabia deal. I should have taken it. I'm washed.
So I do get the fact that they perpetrated 9/11.
I'm not doing it.
That is good. I admire that.
Then they doubled the bag, and I was like,
they doubled the bag, the princes?
It was a significant bag.
What?
But I'd already said no. You know, I took a principled stand.
Yeah, against Saudi Arabia.
It wasn't even that. I didn't even think about it.
I thought we were allies
I
with
didn't
Saudi
even
Arabia.
really think. Yeah, we are. We give them a ton of.
So why the hell they do 9/11 to us?
Wasn't it Osama bin Laden just from Saudi Arabia?
Every single hijacker, basically.
Yeah.
is Saudi.
Yeah, you don't 9/11 your friends, bro.
Don't 9/11 your friends.
You don't.
And go over and go, hey guys, you guys want to talk about? I was in 7th grade when you guys did that. It was nuts.
Well, there's a Riyadh Comedy Festival. I don't know if you heard about that. This is true. There's a Riyadh, Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. I mean, how do you even promote that? You know, like from the folks that brought you 9/11, 2 weeks of laughter in the desert. Don't miss it. I mean, the same guy that's going to pay them is the same guy that paid that guy to bonesaw Jamal Khashoggi and put him in a fucking suitcase. But don't let that stop the yucks. It's going to be a good time. Full disclosure, I was not asked to perform at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, so it's kind of easy for me to take the high road on this one. Easy to maintain your integrity when no one's offering to buy it out, you know.
I was supposed to perform in Dubai. I mixed up Dubai and I said Abu Dhabi. Apparently this is a big deal over there. This is like a real problem. My agent called me and he goes, you said on Joe Rogan that you were performing in Abu Dhabi and you're actually performing in Dubai. They're cities and they have a rivalry. And I go, dude, who gives a fuck? What do I stop? I made a mistake. This is not a malicious slander. It's a mistake. He goes, well, they're very angry and they sent an email that you need to be controlled. I said, well, good luck. Whatever. I don't have to do it. I don't care. And then he called me a few days later, and I thought he was going to talk about the Kimmel thing. What's
up, young old vibes?
But he called me and he said, they heard what you said about them having slaves. And I said, I was being positive about it. I was defending them. He goes, well, I know that. I know you were defending them. I said, I was defending them for having slaves. I literally said, slaves are probably hard workers and for the most part, agreeable. People were coming up to me.
You have to be.
Saying, why would you go to that country? They have slaves. In Tribeca, they're assaulting me, these people. I'm just leaving a lunch and they're coming out. They have slaves, they say. And of course, I addressed it in a funny way and they fired me. And then they told me, they go, my agents, they all call me. You don't have to talk about this, they say. Don't talk about it. Remember when you talked about Joker? I said, what? They go, it hurts you to talk about these things. In what? What is even left, you bums? This is the first time I've been fired by people that actually do really bad things. So let's take this win.
Shane Gillis seems to consistently be finding himself on the right side of these issues. And I'm not sure if it's just like a likability factor with him or the fact that he just has actually good judgment. I'm not really sure, because I think you could make arguments that his judgment hasn't been always that good in the past. But at the same time, ever since he kind of had the whole SNL debacle, it just seems like he thinks through his positions on things and what he says pretty carefully, and is also able to be funny within that. Shane Gillis is an interesting guy because people from almost every side of the spectrum want to uphold him as some kind of like positive example, right? And I think that's probably a little bit unsustainable. He's, going to disappoint somebody on some side at some point. He's not flawless, but I think he gets a lot of goodwill. So I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. And it's especially because of stuff like this, because on a thing that
I wonder if the Saudis invited like Bill Burr and there's a few lefties in there. The dude from, they said it goes on TYT, even Whitney Cummings and stuff. But it's like, I wonder, I feel like if we can buy the moral people, like, then, it looks even better and shit like that. Like, it got mentioned in the last video how WWE now does some wrestling shows in Saudi Arabia. And I was really into wrestling as a kid, like in the 80s, very early 90s. Stopped watching it until a few years ago. I started watching a little bit more again because one of my kids is kind of into it. And there's a wrestler named CM Punk who's kind of like one of the few moral wrestlers. Like, he's at the same protest I was at, like, except his was in Chicago where he's from and stuff. And so he's got a lot of the same beliefs as me. And WWE put him in the main event in a title match in the Saudi Arabia show. And I swear that had to be on purpose just to like keep him in line, just to see if he'd do it. And he did it, so. And he may have had to because he has a contract with them, but I swear sometimes they'll take the detractors like the Bill Burrs and like the CM Punks, and it's like, well, if we can get them, if we can buy them off, then
But also don't forget, like, a lot of these people, they are just basically dancing monkeys. Like, they have their opinions on things, but remember, most of these people, especially the comedians and stuff, their entire life has been struggling to pay rent, basically, until they got to the point where they didn't have to anymore. But they're still, they got that mindset, right? And they're still like dancing monkeys. They've had to debase themselves in all sorts of different ways to get to where they are, especially as a comedian. So,
yeah, that is true. Yeah,
on one side, it's like, yeah, you should have sort of your ethical sort of ideals and should probably like stick with that. But on the other side, they spent their whole careers debasing themselves for money. So
it's interesting in the real, not this isn't the real world, but the working class world, like they are offering really big bonuses if you want to sign up to become like an ICE agent, and shit like that. And it's funny because my wife, she's even more into some of this shit than me, and so she fucking hates ICE and what's going on, and she's like, man, I wish I wish we didn't have these more. Like, I wish you could go work for ICE with that fucking $50,000 bonus and all this shit. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't think I could do it anyway, but it's like I probably feel the physical at this fucking point. But
yeah, like I'd like to do it too, but man, my knees are fucked.
Yeah, my knees are fucked. I'm literally on heart medication now. So the fuck knows.
Yeah, same. Yeah, that's like, I mean, if they need somebody to, fix their computers or something.
If they just want a token liberal, token progressive to be like, look, we got one of you on the team. That's all I got to do. I'll ride in the van. Sure.
I personally
Hey, you
wouldn't
already
have
got
expected.
you already got the balaclavas.
I was just gonna say that I'll bring my own mask, man. I'll bring my own shit. We're good.
The at-large comedy audience to get upset about, all of a sudden there's a lot of pushback, and the people who decided on a principled level to turn that money down are looking pretty good now, and they're also able to come out and throw some shots at the people who did take the money. Stavros Halkias is another person who has made some jokes about it, although it wasn't, necessarily worth clipping, I didn't think. This has genuinely become a controversial thing amongst comedians.
Yeah,
The
I didn't
comedian
even think
that you
about
keep trying to
Yeah.
remember that was on TYT.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Stavros?
I don't even know what he said about it. That was interesting. Too bad you didn't clip it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's the guy I can never think of. Yeah, he's been when Bill Burr was on the right side of things, he seemed to be on the right side of things too. But he's not there, so thankfully. Maybe there'll be at least one moral comedian out there.
And you've seen the same thing happen with the Joe Rogan sphere, and whether or not sort of giving into this Austin style of comedy that seems to be emerging is like the right direction for comedy, or whether it's as inevitable as people want it to act like it is, especially after Trump won kind of on the back of Joe Rogan and even Tony Hinchcliffe a little bit. Not saying Tony Hinchcliffe was a heavyweight there, but he was there. It just makes you look at that differently. And that's what happens when you get into politics. So I don't think that the comedians who signed up for this show thought that this would get that politicized. And that's where they just kind of made an obvious miscalculation. So probably the most disappointing person to see on this list is Bill Burr.
Actually, that's not a bad. While we watch this, while we watch this Old Spice ad, that's actually not a bad idea either, because a lot of these guys, it might be just another gig. I mean, they're paid well, but they weren't thinking, what are the political ramifications of this? They're just like, oh, we get like a good amount of money for this easy gig, sure.
Yeah, like I was saying, the Bobby Lee, like there's probably some comedians that aren't too bright with this stuff. I'm not trying to be a dick, it's just not in their wheelhouse. You know what I mean? They're like, Saudi Arabia, yeah, they're an ally. If they've even thought about it at all, or they may just thought of like like you said, it's a paid gig.
It's just another gig.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other countries they play in that aren't the best with human rights. You know what I mean? Maybe not Saudi Arabia level bad, but still not too good. You know what I mean? So, and nothing ever comes of it. So yeah, some of them probably are. No, he like I said, he is the one that does know better. The only thing I can think of is that he's just strictly a domestic, like fuck billionaires, take care. We need health care, take care of the working class.
Like I said,
and just didn't think about the foreign. I'm sure he knows about it. He's not. He seems smart enough to know that shit. So
that's what I said. I think of all these people, like I would say, maybe that's why Bill Burr is getting the most shit over it. Because out of most of these comics, I'm looking at him going, Bill Burr is really the only one where I would point at and go, didn't you specifically say something about this at one point?
Yeah, and the only other one is kind of like Pete Davidson because his father was killed 9/11.
But even then, as I said, as a comedian, you kind of got to debate, and an actor, you got to kind of debase yourself a lot. So
yeah,
he might not even care. In fact, he probably got enough money to not care.
Yeah, like Kevin Hart's like, man, they made me wear a dress like 6 fucking times already. This is fucking, I'm going to a place where all the guys wear fucking dresses. I'm fine now. Like, Jesus. Young Old Vibe says comedians sold out during the election. Are we surprised? No, I'm just more disappointed. Like this whole thing is just gonna end up being on this festival pretty much, Young Old Vibes. But originally, the idea was try and cover comedians as a whole, like what they're doing. Like, I brought up Joe Rogan and all them, how they kind of sold out, and now they're pro government at the moment, and even Cumia, he's pretty much on an Republican establishment conservative radio show, and we're going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel and is he holding back now and shit like that, and this was the big topic this festival, but we're just pretty much going to stick to it. But yeah, how comedians back in the day, like the George Carlins, they fought against this shit for the most part,
The comedians haven't been like that for a long time,
I know.
no popular ones. Like you can go, find your local comedians. You'll probably find a lot of stuff like that. Like, was it like Carlin and was it his name Bill?
Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks and that sort of stuff. Like, we haven't had comedians that are like that and popular for a long time, actually.
Yeah, it's too bad. That's the shit that was in my wheelhouse. But anyway,
that he just seems like he has his head on straight about the powers that be lately. And I get that Saudi Arabia is kind of separate from what he's been talking about, and probably a lot of them rationalize it to themselves that way of like, listen, I don't really know what's going on over there. It's not my country. They want to pay me to do a comedy show. It's the same as any other comedy show. But the reality is that this is being used to kind of whitewash the reputation of Saudi Arabia. And that's why this comedy festival goes all the way up to the
hold on. Damn it.
To the highest levels. Yeah. And that's why this comedy festival.
This guy next to Bill Burr, he's the dude that's on the Young Turks a lot. I can't think of his fucking name, but yeah, that one I'm torn on because I said on one side I'm pissed because not pissed, but I'm like, dude, you're like
definitely no.
You're a progressive, but on the other side, like I said, I don't think he's well known, so I'm guessing he doesn't make shit for money. So this probably undoubtedly is the biggest payday he's ever gotten. So maybe he can't say no. I don't know.
Or once again, maybe just one of these guys say, "Go get that bag."
Yeah, could be. Maybe TYT is just another gig for him too. You know what I mean? Like he has those beliefs, but they're not like passionate enough. It's just
they're good enough to get him a steady paycheck from TYT.
Yeah, that's about it.
Or occasional paycheck on TYT.
Yeah.
Goes all the way up to the highest levels. These are high-level Saudi officials that are putting this on, and they're doing it because they want to use American comedians to put a more friendly face on their country in general and sort of rebrand themselves as something that's friendly to this type of, I don't know, free speech, humor, entertainment, whatever. They're trying to make it the biggest comedy festival ever in the world. They're trying to do this big. And so they're using the names of American comics to sort of whitewash the crimes that they're associated with, whether it be 9/11 or the dismembering of Jamal Khashoggi. But it also is just kind of instinctually correct for these comedians to point out, oh, you're doing a comedy show for the 9/11 guys. It's just funny. And it's also funny to me that has become an understood thing, that Saudi Arabia is responsible for 9/11, at least in some way, because we've actually never gotten any official information on that yet. It's not like, one of these things where at a certain point the government decides it's okay for you to know what really happened now.
Well, I think they say that because, like I said, like 11 of the most of the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. Whether the Saudi government was behind it, sure, who knows? But people from that country were behind it. That's the point. Whoever the fuck this guy is.
Almost happened with.
Oops. Ah, come on! What a train wreck.
And there was a period where Biden was going to release.
No, he wasn't. Maybe he pretended he was going to, but he wasn't going to release shit.
Yeah, he may have said he might do that.
Yeah,
but we know how that goes.
In case you haven't noticed, presidents say they're gonna declassify things all the time, and they never fucking do.
files about 9/11, there was some speculation that that was going to be at least some kind of tangential proof that Saudi Arabia had more to do with it than any other country. But Biden decided not to release that. So as far as I know, we never got that information. But it does seem to be that impression has been pretty well laid amongst a lot of people, which is just interesting to me because we were just absolutely flooded with propaganda about Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan being the ones responsible for that. So it's funny when you get an offer as somebody who does speech of some kind for a living, and you get an offer that directly does cut against your ability to speak freely. One thing that Tim Dillon says is that I wasn't planning to come on your stage and say bad things about your country. First of all, because it's illegal. And second of all, because that's not the point here. So none of these comedians who are participating in this show are like allowed to criticize Saudi Arabia. They fired Tim Dillon from overseas because of something that he said on his own podcast. What he's referring to about saying the thing about slaves was something he said on his own podcast. And he also made a couple jabs on Joe Rogan's podcast as well, which I covered at the time. And I mean, at the time, I thought that was a really weak response to the criticism that he was getting, that he's willing to take this money. And even you see in his response here, he's like, yeah, I took the money. Why wouldn't I take the money? Then they fire me. It's like, oh, yeah, well, we'll take the win. Saudi Arabia sucks anyway. So, I mean, that's really the guy you're dealing with there in Tim Dillon.
I did see somewhere they sent some of the money to these comedians up front, so he did get to keep whatever he was sent already, Tim Dillon. So he got some free money out of it. I don't know how much it was, but he didn't even have to go perform, I guess. So maybe he's the big winner in all of this. Who knows?
But by being willing to
With Thrivent, your financial journey.
There's 3 minutes left, you fucking assholes.
Your money is a tool to support
a lot of ads.
and community you
How
love.
many ads are people
Because
putting in
sometimes
their
all
shit
you need
these
to make a
days?
difference
know, man.
is someone to help you make it happen. Thrivent, where money means
Can't
more.
even skip this one.
I got this wow skin from Olay
Two
Body Wash.
unskippables.
It's
Holy
new super
fuck.
serum with 5 powerful
Oh, no,
ingredients.
it's skippable.
I will pay by next
say
week.
something like that.
We'll get it back.
He put himself at the center of what is actually controversial about this whole thing. It should also be noted that the Human Rights Watch is urging these comedians that are doing this show to use it as an opportunity to speak out against Saudi Arabia's government, because they can. They're probably not going to get chopped up into little pieces and put in a suitcase, especially.
Probably not. Are you going to risk that? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
This was the one.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna go with probably not. I'm gonna go with they're paying me a lot of money, like Tim Dillon. They're paying me a lot of money to look that way.
Yeah, this was the one. I was like, look, man, there's 2 stances you can take on this. You can just take the money and go and suck it up and be like, yeah, I took the money. Or you can criticize criticize Saudi Arabia from American soil. I would not criticize Saudi Arabia on a fucking stage in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, where they're probably responsible for all your travel, your food, like
in front of the royal family.
Yeah. Like that's the worst thing you can do. You're gonna embarrass them on a stage right in front of them and other people. Like, I'm not. Yeah, you're probably isn't good enough for me, sir. I'm sorry.
Especially if good numbers of them come out and do that. But that's why they fired Tim Dillon like that, because they want to silence any criticism. And so any comedian worth half his salt would use this as an opportunity to say some shit that you're really not allowed to say. And these free speech warriors, we're going to see that all of them are going to chicken out on the premise that what you say and your free speech is actually under repression by the government. And you're not allowed to just say whatever you want. And you've been pretending for the last several years that that's a really big problem for you. A lot of you motherfuckers have been yapping about free speech, bro, for so long. And then now we see direct attacks on free speech happening in America. And a whole hell of a lot of you are taking money in a way that directly contradicts your ability to say whatever you want. That's just interesting. Bill Burr has been quiet about this. A lot of these folks have been quiet about this. It's happening right now, as I understand. I think it just started and it's going through October 9th. So we'll see if anything changes. Most of these people are probably just going to do their sets and try to move on with their careers. And they're just hoping for this whole thing to blow over. But it seems to me that the type of audience backlash I'm seeing here might sting for a while. Because while some of this stuff that pops up about, I don't know, anybody who's like the target at the time, Brendan Schaub, Bert Kreischer, even now Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe a little bit, it's like, it seems like petty internet drama, and it certainly is. But also it leaves a mark too. Like, I'm not even talking about myself, but when some of these other comedy critique channels, you know, just hammer somebody like Bert Kreischer or Brendan Schaub over and over again, it's like it does genuinely leave a mark on their reputation. There's something about comedy and the audience of comedy that it's insular enough that this stuff gets around, and even the comedians start talking about it, and then that feeds back into the podcast critique loop, and then that gets back to the comedians, and then they're making fun of each other over that. So it's just interesting because it's not that often that as audience members, you get access to the people that you're critiquing with the critique you're doing. And there's at least a couple people in the comedy critique space that have gotten big enough that their critiques are actually making it to the people that they're talking about. In some cases, in a way that's like actually hurting their feelings. In the case of Tim Dillon, it seems to have played a part in him getting fired. So just an interesting dynamic, and just another development at the ways that podcasting continues to be the dominant art form of our time for whatever reason.
I think it's just going to blow over and nobody's going to care by the end of next month.
Yeah, it's probably is going to blow over. Like he did have an interesting point at the end. Like it made me think like, all right, Bill Burr actually isn't really a guy that was complaining about cancel culture, but he's the one that supposedly had the moral high ground on this stuff, and then he sold out. Then you get some of the other comedians that pretty much have made a living complaining about cancel culture and all this shit, censorship lately, and they had no problem going to the ultimate censorship place. So there's kind of like two kinds of hypocrisy here, I guess. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna stick that long. It'll probably stick the longest on Bill Burr because there's a certain demographic that don't like him at the moment, and this is something they can use. But I think the people that
he's been. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, but I think the people that do like Bill Burr are still just gonna continue to support him, so it's not really gonna matter.
Yeah, it's just that he's been recently vocal.
Yes.
Against the sort of things that Saudi Arabia is doing. Basically, saying that America is doing things what it isn't doing, but he's going to perform in a country where they are doing those things that he basically criticizes America for. So it's like,
yeah, it's bad.
It's Mr. As you said, it's Mr. Anti-government, generally anti-government, anti-establishment guy. Going to go do his dancing monkey bit in front of arguably some of the most powerful royals in the world.
Yeah, it's not good. I say this: if someone there does have the balls to criticize the Saudi family, I will take everything back. I think it'd be crazy to do, but if they're gonna do it, that'd be pretty awesome.
Somewhere, and it's probably not true, but I think I saw an X post somewhere, and I can't find it again, where somebody said that one of the comedians, or the lower level comedians, came out and said, "How much do we like those gays?" and got a big round of boos from the audience. Probably not true.
Probably not, but even that, I mean, that's risky. But even that's not, that yeah, I probably wouldn't even do that. But yeah, I know it's interesting, like how they're gonna have to curtail, like pretty much everyone there is gonna have to change up their set, like to some extent. I can't imagine.
Well, as you said, like a lot of, especially like bigger professional comics and whatnot, most comics will have a clean version and a dirty version. Because if you want to get that corporate gig, you got to do the clean version.
Yep. So these Saudis are gonna get the less funny shit, I guess, the clean versions or whatever. Oh well. All right, you know what? Why don't we just end it? It'll be like the old days, a nice 90-minute show. We didn't have much this week. They can't all be home runs, but what are you gonna do? We see what happens next week.
There just wasn't much interesting stuff going on, and this interesting stuff that's going on, we don't have any real
details
information
yet.
on.
Yeah,
I said other than that one anti-ice written on that shell casing from the one guy is about the only interesting thing we really have to talk about with all the shootings and stuff.
As we were talking, we were trying to come up with something we could put a full show together on. Like, I didn't think that was enough. And I don't know, people were talking about this, so I thought maybe there'd be more interest or whatever. And I was really hoping our guest would show up because that would have helped, but didn't happen. So it is what it is.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We can call it a day. And
yeah,
I got some good information on how comfortable this mask is.
how is it?
Much
Good?
better than the balaclava. The
There you go.
balaclava, by this time, I'm normally like, can we just end the show because my nose is being crushed into the back of my skull. I can't take it anymore.
Nice.
But this is really nice. It's mostly the pressure is right here. The straps do cross my ears, and they are starting to hurt a little bit. So might have to change the angle on the straps. But other than that, it's pretty comfortable and
nice,
pretty breathable. It's got a very fine cloth that I put inside. It's just basically a very, very, very thin material handkerchief that I just put in there, glued it in, and cut off all the bits. Which one bit of the one thread right here keeps coming loose and touching my my eyelid right there. That's why I keep doing this.
Always something.
I'm trying to get rid of that little thread that keeps tickling my eye.
Oh man!
But otherwise, yeah, it's pretty comfortable. I might be sometime this week. I guess since we're going to end it, check out my channel.
Yeah,
I'll give my plugs. Yeah,
Do
check
your
out my
plugs.
channel. Link down in the description. I do occasional streams. My biggest video right now is the video of John when his
Yeah,
video
dude.
got
I saw the
canceled.
views on that, man. That was fucking crazy. Congrats.
It's still going nuts.
Nice.
Like everybody's watching it.
It's awesome.
So I got that down there. Anybody wants to watch it? It's on my YouTube channel. It's all there, even the bit that got him shut down because it's a video, not a live stream.
Yep.
So
yeah, I had to be the one to explain that to Ashley on the Schmiel thing. Like that.
she's
you know.
still not really super getting it.
Okay. I tried.
Yeah, she had it explained by John. She's had it explained by everybody. She's still not really understanding why it's okay to be a video and not a live stream. So, but yeah, I should be doing more streams and stuff this week. I also got a Twitch channel. I'll be doing more gaming streams. I had a thing where I have some stuff I had to do, and they don't want me sweating. But that stuff ends tomorrow.
Nice.
I got a heart monitor on. I got to do cardiologist, and they just wanted, it's not for anything bad. It's just a new cardiologist. I had some stuff happen, as I said earlier this year, and she just wants do everything to make sure everything's fine before I get taken off all my medications.
Gotcha.
That's all. This is to get off my medications. But for it to stick, they don't want you to sweat. So I haven't been playing the VR games because I do those to get exercise.
Okay.
And then I've been really busy. I got another project I'm working on. Another project. The goal is for it to automatically generate YouTube shorts out of videos that I feed it.
Nice.
So it's got all kinds of AI going on. I need a better video card though, so I got my other computer that's going to go on, the one that actually does all the automated recording and streaming and stuff. I need to put it on that because that's got a much better video card than this than my notebook here or my laptop. So then I can get the better models running on that GPU. But yeah, it's so far kind of working. Like it does all the cropping and everything. It even moves to the faces of it detects whoever's talking, and it moves to their faces and stuff. Nice. No, that's working good. But then I decided I also want to make it just like a clipping machine for me. So it'll find interesting parts of videos because I record all the stuff. I got a huge hard drive here on a NAS. And I've actually been recording all of these videos that I stream on Kick. And I'd like to just plug in one of those videos and say, find me the interesting bits so I could talk about that. Because I don't want to, some of them are, 6-7 hours long.
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
you know, of like 3 or 4 different, you know, people's videos. And I got the thing that transcribes them. And I could look through I could search the transcriptions, but unless I know what I'm searching for. So I
Jake,
got that almost working.
I was gonna say Jake could use that feature. He's been making a ton of shorts out of his live streams, and he made one the other day where literally the whole juxt of the short was, I don't have a producer. I do my own production. I'm not very good at production. That was the short.
Yeah, there's
Saying-
AI. There are AI. There are websites you can go to where you can plug your video in, and it'll make shorts for you. But they cost money, and I didn't want to pay for it. And I thought, hey, I've been learning how to do all this stuff. Why don't I just make it myself?
There you go. Good. All right. You gonna go live anytime this week? Do you know, or you kind of gonna wait to see what John does? Or what
I
someone
should
else
probably
does?
go. I'm gonna make it a point to try to go live in the afternoons, probably in the early evening. I was thinking probably start doing like a 6 o'clock thing, since nobody is really doing like a 6 o'clock thing. That'll give me like a couple hours before Rico, so I can, so I can watch my Rico right after.
Yeah, I've been thinking of I got kind of an idea for a little twist on I will try my best, or a little upgrade. So I may try and pick maybe Wednesday. I want to pick one night, like I want to get it stationary like we got this show. Like just randomly doing it whenever. I don't know. It's I just want to get something more settled in or whatever.
That's kind of what I need to do.
Yeah.
That's probably a better idea rather than doing every day. Just pick a day.
Or if
pick
you want to do it
and
a
time
couple
to
days,
do a
pick
show.
2 days. Like I think
Yeah.
Schmill does like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think he does Tuesdays and Thursdays because Quad does like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like people are trying to work around each other and shit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try and pick like a day, and if I do a second one at some point, that's fine. But I've almost been doing too many, not enough of my own shit, too much
Yeah.
going on other people's stuff lately. So
Yeah, it seems like every time I
that's
turn around, I see your face on the on the auto-generated thumbnail.
Yeah, I was for a little while it was getting subs, so I was doing it, but now I've kind of I'm going on the same show, so I've kind of maxed that out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those people are now subs, so it's like, all right.
You're not getting in front of any new people.
Yeah, it's not helping anymore. So yeah, I'll still do it, here and there because I like the people, but it's the reason I was doing it isn't really helping me anymore. Like I said, it was great for a little while, but that's pretty much maxed out at this point.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so that's Liquid's plugs. Obviously you guys can find me here at OG Mumbling Nick. We do this show every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. As I said, the second show I do, I will try my best. I will try and pick a day, at least one day a week, and get that set. And I have like I said, a new idea that twist the show a little bit. And I'll be on with Echo Pineapple next Saturday. He'll be back from his vacation at 3 p.m. Eastern time for Between Two Hacks. I just remembered I have to find all the videos this week. He gave me a homework assignment, so since he'll be in France, so
That's always nice when you got to do your homework for somebody else's show.
well, we used to split it. Like I used to get half the videos, he used to grab the other half, and then I don't know. I think for some reason he felt bad, whatever. So he started doing it himself, getting them all.
I guess it's just whatever. It's just clips from the week, right?
Yeah. He's got. I know his like. He doesn't want the shows duplicated. Like one clip that has to do with John, one with TS, one with Schmiel. Like, and there's certain clippers he wants, and he wants to get at least one from each clipper, that type of thing. So I know all his little rules, so I'll find them. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for joining us, and like I said, if things develop with the stories that kind of broke this weekend, we just kind of need some more details on these shootings. That may be something we cover next weekend. But who knows? In this America, you never know what the fuck's going to happen during the week. There may be some other huge story that we have to cover, like unfortunately happened a few weeks ago. So anyway, that's it. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Liquid. official stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jones and for your fix of that devil politics mix. And where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Torn in, now torn out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what's in for the ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Yeah. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time. So you better get some better views and get fame for all your time. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting out the political shit. The back and forth shit, put bounce in the dabble.